could you maybe like introduce yourself? Like,
Yeah, so yeah, my name's Coza, from London. It's my first day in Paris today. So yeah, I've got to thank Two Steppers for bringing me down for Rinse. It's going to be good. I've been producing for a good 10 years plus. And yeah, I've been on Rinse a few times, but this is my first time Rinse France. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
what's the vibe that you want to bring to your set for Two Steppers?
I'd say every set I do, I like to play a variety of music. So, you know, I'll always play some garage. That'll always be a big part of my set. That's one of my sort of staple sounds, but I like to switch it up with maybe some UK funky, some house, even go into a bit darker, some grime, dubstep. I think growing up in London, I've been around so much music growing up that I kind of like to bring a blend into all in one set. So it's, you know, I'm not just sticking to the same sort of drum pattern every time. I like to switch it up. I like to bring in different vocals from tunes and make a lot of edits for my sets, so it makes it a little bit stand out different from other producers maybe, or DJs, because, you know, I like to play a lot of dub plates, so like either tunes that I've made or I've got exclusive vocals off, you know, my friends. So I've got a lot of unreleased music to play today, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Like, how long have you been mixing for?
That's a good question. I'd say about 12 years. So I'm 27 now, so I started when I was about 15. So I started producing when I was about 13. So I started on the MPC, so like Akai MPC. I was making a lot of hip hop beats, so listening to a lot of like East Coast rap, like J Dilla, you know, all the sort of big names, Biggie Smalls, stuff like that. That's kind of what really got me into making music. I've always been surrounded by music, so like my dad was a musician. So, you know, I'm from a musical family where it's always been around, but I think when I started listening to hip hop, that kind of stuff, that's what really got me into sort of delving into it and actually getting my hands on in production. And then it's kind of been a journey from there, to be honest. So at that time, living in London, grime was obviously very popular, so I was listening to a lot of that. I tried to make it at the time, and I couldn't. So I just stuck to what I was doing, and then as time progressed, I sort of moved between drum and bass, dubstep, garage, grime, and I feel now my sound's a bit of a fusion of all of them. That's what I like to think anyway.
Yeah, so as you said, you're also producing. What's the thing that you want to bring that's just like special to you, to the culture?
Well, I'd say what I'd like to do is, well, one thing I've been doing recently, so I've had a recent release out on Metal Messiah, which is a big UK platform for grime artists, really like nostalgic, bringing back a lot of grime culture, but also trying to elevate the new generation. And one thing I'm doing is I've been in touch with a lot of the old school grime artists that didn't necessarily get their flowers. You know, they've not done as well as a lot of other people have. So I've been in touch. So I've recently done a tune with Criminal, but I'm not sticking to the original sound they were doing then. I'm using their vocals. I've been in the studio with them and putting, you know, my own sound and spin on it. So I say it's a mixture of stuff. It's a difficult question to answer really, but I'd say I've got my own sound, and I think people that know my music or listen to my music, they can sort of recognise my tunes, and it's all in the bass design, I'd say. I want to bring what I want to leave my stamp on it and do what I can. And it's great to always hear. I get positive feedback, and I get people come up to me when, you know, sometimes I'm DJing out, and they'll say like I'm an you know, like I've inspired them to do this or that, or like, you know, they've really enjoyed my set. And to hear that's great. But honestly, first and foremost, I just do it for myself, just because I love it. I want to push it as much as I can, do as much to the scene as I can to benefit it, and yeah, put London more on the map.
Well, it's
already on the map. Yeah, I want to put my sound on London's map.
Who are the artists that really inspire you in music, like everything in general?
I would say, in terms of garage, I've got to say like Jeremy Sylvester, big inspiration. All of the like people on Nice and Ripe. In terms of selectors, probably DJ Perception. But probably right now, for the sound I'm going for, that was music that I've listened to and I DJ, but not produce. But when it comes to producing, I've probably got to say LB is probably like one of my biggest inspirations for his, just every tune you hear by him, you know it's an LB tune. The drums are always on point. It's got like, it just makes everyone want to dance when you drop it in the club. So I say LB, big inspiration, but also I can't forget my drum and bass influence. So I've got to say like Skeptical, Alex Perez, you know, there's so much talent, and taking it all in and just sort of not copying anything, but getting inspired by it and just putting your own touch on it. So yeah, a lot of people to list really, so it's hard to narrow it down, but yeah. And I'd say another name to add to that is SPMC, because he does that really well. So like he will be inspired by, I've chatted to him, you know, I've seen him out quite a lot, I've chatted to him, and he'll get inspired by like an old 90s drum and bass track, and he said, well, I'm not going to recreate a 90s drum and bass track because it's been done, and I'm not going to try and better it. I'm going to put my own spin on it, so how about I make it into a garage tune? Like not sampling it, but just taking inspiration from something like that and putting your own sound on it. And I think that's what it's all about. I think right now, music's very throwaway. I think there's so much music coming out, there's so much good music coming out. Some of it I'm not such a fan of, but there's a lot of good music coming out. There's a lot of talent around at the moment, and it's great to see. But I think what I try and do is not follow a trait of what's popular at the moment. I try to follow what resonates with myself. So I try not to watch what everyone else is doing, because I think longevity will always last. Do you know what I mean? And I want to make music that's timeless and what's for myself rather than what the crowd is. Obviously, you've got to cater to the crowd. You've always got to cater to the crowd. You don't want to play a set that's going to clear out a dance floor. But that's why with my sets, I like to do some catchy tunes. That's why I say I like to take vocals from one track and put on a dub plate. So I'll take maybe a catchy vocal and put on a tune they've never heard before. So it's relatable, but it's something new, you know?
You said that there's a lot of good music coming out. Do you have like any DJ or producer or artist in general that you've been listening to, like, or really just keeping an eye on for this year?
A lot of close friends of mine. I've got to shout out like Pent One, Buckley, Delta, a lot of people, to be honest. Yeah, my boy Ali as well. So I've got a tune with him. He's starting a label, Will Spin Records. So I've got a tune with him featuring Logan, and got a tune with him with Trim, and Half Cab as well. Always got a shout out of Half Cab. That's my boy from early. Been making a lot of music together. But honestly, yeah, there's so many people. It's hard to list off the top of my head.
Well, talking about Half Cab, you have a duo with him called Contraband.
Can
you tell us about it?
Yeah, Contraband. So Contraband started, well, so I've known Half Cab for about maybe like 20, I think we knew each other for years, and like, you know, we were kind of acquaintances, you know, we'd see each other out, we'd go to the same events, and then one day I think I put out a tune or he put out a tune, and then we just sent each other a message being like, oh, we should link up, go to the studio. And then since then we just clicked, you know, we got on and we had a good workflow. And yeah, so we were making a lot of music together, we were doing DJ sets, so we used to have a show on Life FM in London. And yeah, we sort of one day we were like, you know what, we've got enough music that we may as well put an alias under it. So yeah, we started Contraband, and I'll tell you, we've probably got about 10 tunes, like finished tunes. Yeah. A lot of more projects, but we've only released one song, but it's coming. And it started off as drum and bass, but he's got, honestly, on the set I do tonight as well, a lot of unreleased Half Cab two-step. We've got a lot of stuff coming.
Do you think that having a duo brought something different to your career rather than just going solo?
I've learned so much, like in terms of production skills. I've learned a lot of him, and not just, you know, Half Cab, but other people I've worked with. I think every studio session you jump in, everyone's got a slightly different approach, so you'll always pick up stuff. But also, it's, you know, it's more fun, and like I think the end product is something that you wouldn't come with yourself. So it kind of broadens your horizons of how to make a tune. But yeah, I think also relating back to the question you said, I think it makes a more original sound because two minds coming together, throwing stuff at each other, it gets a bit more creative, you know? Yeah. And I think creativity and originality will always kind of push through. So I think there will be progressions in the career, definitely. Yeah,
obviously. What can we wait for you for 2025, like the end of the year actually?
2025, so yeah, we've got a big year lined up this year. So as I said, Will Spin Records. So that's a close friend of mine, Ali. So we've got a couple releases. Can't say too much at the minute because it's all kind of up in the air. I don't want to say a release date and then it not come out. But I've got, so I've got a tune with Trim on there, a tune with Logan, a tune with Ali, a lot of Half Cabs music on there. And then, so I just done the release on Metal Messiah, but that's coming out on, that was just on Bandcamp, that came out last Friday. It's coming out all platforms on the 28th of March, and then it will be coming out on vinyl after that. And then we've got a few, I don't want to say too much, but it's a very big DJs doing a remix of it, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then in terms of other releases, you know what, I've got a lot of stuff. I don't want to say too much because I'm not sure on dates, but where we're at right now, they're starting something. They got projects in the line, and I'm very lucky to be involved in it. So I've got something coming with them.
So we won't say too much.
So expect some good music coming, basically.
Well, we
I'm not sure on a date, but it's coming soon.
2025?
Yeah, by the end of 2025, I'm expecting another 5 releases.
Well, do you have any last words?
Yeah, well, I'd just like to thank, first of all, you guys for having me down for the interview and letting me sort of chat about myself and let you know what's coming. But also, big up to Two Steppers for getting me down. And check out the mix. And also, looking forward to my time in France.
Well, it was a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you for bringing me down.